I'll tell you exactly what I'm looking for from Bryce Young. This is a game where you could be very specific with Bryce. You could say, Chuba Hubbard's out. I need you to carry the game offensively. I need the passing game to step up. You could say something like Fritterer McMillan needs to get in the end zone. He hasn't done it yet. Some of the advanced analytics, the target numbers, the air yardage, all these other things show how good he could be, but you're not connecting. I need to see it happen. You could get very specific. I'm talking vibes with Bryce. Do you know what Bryce needs? What I affectionately call healthy amount of bleep it. It's time for Bryce Young to get to bleep it mode. Yes, that. And it's the one thing, right? Because what should every coach involved with Bryce, every person that has any impact, every trainer, every assistant coach, what should Dave Canales, what should Bryce Young be doing himself? Do you know what they all should be doing right now? They should be bringing up the last month of the season last year on film and bringing up the first month of the season this year on film and going, what was happening last year during this stretch that isn't happening now? Were we calling different plays? Was he doing something different technically? What is the difference between the last month last year, where statistically he was one of the best quarterbacks in the entire league, versus this year, where even in wins he's throwing for 120 yards? Right? Even the great is like, well, he didn't lose it for him. That's the best thing you can say about him this year.
Been over 160 yards one time.
And I did some of that. I went in and I brought it up. And after he was benched last year, okay, because remember that happened, right? 2 bad games, benched, stretch of games on the bench, came in for a little mop-up duty here and there, and then Andy Dalton with the thumb injury and the car accident, and Bryce came back in. After that, I noticed a significant increase in bleep it. A significant increase in, what are you going to do, bench me? Already did it. What are you going to do? What can you do? Right? What am I going to do? Throw a bunch of interceptions? Did it. And I'm still standing. He had a significant amount of that, which it doesn't make sense fully, but I promise you it's true, is like a superpower for a quarterback. The looseness, the instinctiveness, the getting back to just having fun and rolling out there like, I almost had this whole thing taken away from me. And I got a chance at it again, and I'm just going to go out there and let it rip. This year, it appears as if he's playing like he has something to lose again. Because he does, right? If he plays really well this year, or I should say if he played really well this year from the jump, this offseason, right after his 3rd year, there's contract extension talk. You can get $50 million a year and change the life of your kids' kids. Like you can get the generational absurd wealth. And he was playing like if I make a mistake, if I don't do it right, there was very little bleep it. There was very little looseness. There was very little letting it rip, and a lot of trying to place it. Right? That's what they tell pitchers. Right? Don't aim, just throw. There's a lot of aiming. There's a lot of placing rather than just rearing back and firing. I want Bryce Young. I want I never advise this of a player. And I probably wouldn't actually tell him if he asked me for advice, but I kind of want him to search his name on Twitter right now and just see what everybody's saying and go, oh, they're already out. I've got nothing to lose here. Right? That they're already talking about draft picks. They're already talking about who's next. They're already talking about everything else. So what do I have to lose? Xavier, let's ride. And just go out there and let it fly. And so I was already thinking about this for Bryce going into this game, right? It feels very much like a just let it go game, man. Just go out there and have fun. So I'm already thinking about that. And then I'm watching Thursday Night Football last night. And Mac Jones is getting beat up. He's like half the time you watch a play and then they pan the camera back to him and he's in like a puddle on the floor, just motionless, or he threw up on the field. They cut to him. He's on the sideline and he's eating bananas because he's cramping. He's limping because of his knee. But then the ball snapped and he's kind of just catch and release, right? He's looking for these backup wide receivers that he has. He's going, where's Christian McCaffrey? There he is, and throwing it to him. And they end up winning the game. He outduels Matt Stafford in a way. By the way, Matt Stafford had some throws that were bananas. And Mac Jones wins the game. And I'm watching. Now I'm post-game. I'm getting ready to take the dog out, right? Getting ready to go to bed. And Mac Jones' on-field interview pops up. And I go, I want to hear what he says. And I have I wrote it down. We should have grabbed the audio, but I'll perform it for you. They're talking to him about the mindset, and he goes, Kyle, meaning Kyle Shanahan, his coach, came up to me before the game, and he was pissed that we were underdogs. So he was like, Mac, just let it fly. And I was like, Coach, you don't have to tell me twice. That was Mac Jones' attitude going into that game. Mac Jones has had the dream. He's been a Pro Bowler. He was the starting quarterback of an NFL franchise, first-round pick, and he's had it taken away from him. And last night, due to injury to the starter, he got another shot, and he went out there and played loose and played free and played really gosh darn well. And I went, that's what I'm talking about with Bryce. I don't want Bryce going out there like, what do coaches always say, right? Like, play for the name on the front of your jersey, play for the name on the back of your jersey, play for you're out there, you're representing your legacy. What do you want to be remembered as? I want Bryce to go out there like it's recess. I want Bryce to break a rule. But I want Dave Canales to call a play that is schemed up to end up in Tommy Tremble's hands for a 2-yard gain. And I want Bryce to put his foot in the ground and throw a deep post to Fritterer and McMillan because, Coach, I thought he was open. And that brings me to the Dave Canales of it all. I think Dave Canales is too conservative of a play caller. And yesterday or the day before, I forget when it was, when they were talking about second and short. And Dave Canales said, my philosophy on second down and short yardage is to run the ball. And I went, well, it's just so conservative. To not even have your philosophy be, if I think it's time to take a shot, and if not, we can always run the ball. To have your philosophy be something so pigeonholed. And it got me thinking. Dave Canales has only called plays for one other quarterback. It was in Tampa Bay, and it was Baker Mayfield. And that offense, with Baker Mayfield executing a Dave Canales offense, is what got Dave Canales the Carolina Panthers job, right? That is exactly how it all broke down. For 1 year, he was the offensive coordinator with Tampa. He called plays for a Baker Mayfield offense, and off of that performance, he got the Carolina Panthers head coaching job. What do we know about Baker Mayfield?
Gunslinger.
The dude woke up feeling dangerous, right? When he's in his best element, he is a gunslinger. He is the walk-on that was starting at Texas Tech. And when he wasn't given everything he wanted to be given, he left to walk on at Oklahoma. He is the guy who went out there on 2 days' notice and won a Thursday night football game with a 98-yard game-winning drive. He is a guy who had everything Bryce Young had. First overall pick, more-bound franchise, hoping to be the guy that turned it around, had all those hopes and dreams, and had all of it taken away from him. And he was riding the bench for the Carolina Panthers. And what did he do? He worked his way back to getting a second opportunity with a healthy amount of bleep it. Here's what I think was so good about that Tampa Bay offense when Dave Canales was calling the plays. Dave Canales would call his conservative plays, and occasionally Baker Mayfield would say, I'm going to take this backside deep post. That is not the number one option here, but I'm Baker Mayfield, and I want Mike Evans to score a touchdown. And they balanced each other out, right? So the offense was a little bit of both, right? It was the best parts of the conservative, smart, responsible play calling of Dave Canales and a little bit of the push it downfield, reckless, bleep it of Baker Mayfield, and it came together to make an offense that got Dave Canales his head coaching job. Then he gets Bryce Young, and what is Bryce Young? By all accounts, Bryce Young is a great dude, works hard, tries hard. You know what else he is? He's coachable, right? It feels like at times he was made in a lab, right? He was given quarterback guru coaching from, I don't know, like 8 years old, and he's one of these like test tube quarterbacks that was the number 1 8th grader and the number 1 9th grader and the number 1 10th grader and the number 2 overall recruit, goes to Alabama where he backs up a national championship quarterback, and then he's the Heisman Trophy winner, and then he's the number 1 overall pick. And I'm going like, he does exactly what he's told. He makes smart decisions. He makes good decisions. He makes the responsible choice. I want to empower him to get a little Baker Mayfield bleep it. I want to empower him to become a little bit more of I ask for forgiveness rather than permission. And I think this is a really good game to have it. And I'll even work in some of my personal experience at a significantly lower level, 1/100th, maybe 1/1000th of a level. So I played quarterback at the University of Delaware. For those of you that don't know, I say it all the time, so I apologize if you've heard it. One of the biggest regrets of my career is that I was extremely trying to please the coaches. There were plays on the field in clutch moments where I've studied my film. I knew my playbook. I knew the defense, and I was sitting there going, this play isn't going to work. They've got a good defense called for what we're trying to do, and I know it. And because the coach hadn't given me full autonomy to change the play like Peyton Manning at the line of scrimmage, I would just sit there and go, all right, this play isn't going to. Red 5, set hut. Right, take the snap, execute the play, probably get my running back hit or throw it away, right, try to mitigate the damage. But looking back, I'm like, why not change the play to something you know is going to work? Or is going to have a better chance, and then go explain to the coach why you did it. Here's what happened. As long as you're super confident, right? If you're 50-50, no, especially not where I was in my career. But if I'm Bryce Young, what do you have to lose? Oh, it's 2nd and short. We're going to run another up the middle for Chuba Hubbard. Or easy. Check. Ralph, give me a Elvis Louis. Like, do what you got to do. If it doesn't work, eat that. But you're a professional quarterback. If it doesn't work, own it. But try to make sure it works. You know what I mean? Don't change plays that could work, right? Don't change plays where you're looking at it going, actually, this is a pretty good call. We'll probably pick up the first. Don't change those just to change it. Don't check to the deep ball just because you want some stats. But have a healthy amount of bleep it. A healthy amount of what can you do to me? You've already benched me once. Heck, we both might be out of a job by this time next year. That's what I want to see. And by the way, like, players respect the hell out of that. They respect the heck out of somebody that is so confident in themselves that they're out there doing everything they can to make it work. And wide receivers definitely love it when you're checking the plays where they get the ball.
Oh, of course they do.
That's just how life works.
I think it's interesting that you brought up in the sense of maybe the pressure that Bryce is feeling now.
Mm-hmm.
Because like you said, he understands players. I think we discount the fact that players are very aware of what goes on in the business aspect of, like, more aware than ever before. And these guys know that, hey, after the 3rd year, I can sign an extension. And Bryce Young has seen it. Of so many other quarterbacks that came in the years before him, after that 3rd year, get that big contract extension. And he's like, okay, well, I have to play well in order, like you said, to secure that for myself, for my family, whatever it might be. And that can mess with people's minds.
Absolutely.
Like, hey, if I don't play well, I don't know how long this can go. But if I do play well, I'm set for a long, long time. I'm not saying that his rookie contract won't, obviously pay him enough as is.
It's like gross generational wealth rather than just generational wealth. And
also the narratives and everything that go around your career too.
I try to put this in like terms that us quote unquote normal folk can grasp. But imagine if you had to do your job knowing if you did it perfectly, you got $150 million. And if you didn't, if you made a big mistake, none of it. Like that, like just something you do every single day, something you do very, very well with no defense trying to stop you and no, game day atmosphere, no, not the stress of having millions of people watching. Just whatever your job is. Imagine if you knew, all right, I'm gonna have to do this near perfect, or at least 90 out of 100. Right, I'm gonna have to get an A 17 times over the next 4 months, and if I get an A on all of them, I get $150 million. It might be something you do every day, and you're still going to be like hands shaking when you go to do it that first time, because that's no joke. And I don't care if he already has whatever it is, $30 million from his first. 150 is a lot.
It's different. Again, also there's the whole conversation about what the narrative is around you. Say, hey, I'm first overall pick. I don't want to be another one of the guys listed as a bust.
I think that is, and like everyone wants to look for, the Panthers had Sam Darnold and they had Baker Mayfield, and look at Justin Fields. I think an underrated part of it is when you're on like your third team, when you're on your fourth team, when you're Geno Smithing it in Seattle, there is a part of like, listen, guys, I thought my career was over 3 times already. Like I'm out here just this is gravy, right? I'm out here just trying to make it work. Let's go have some fun. Let's live it up one more time. Let's do it for the memories. And then you're out there and suddenly you're like, oh, wait, would you say I'm 34 for 40 for 380? When did that happen? I was just out there trying to have a good time with my bros. That's kind of what I want to see from Bryce this week. And honestly, I kind of want to see it from Tua too. Like, that's just me rooting for every quarterback because I know how tough it is when you're not playing well at quarterback. I kind of want to see like Tua and with Tyreek Hill hurt, Jalen Waddle, guy that he goes back to college with. I kind of want them to be out there like playing 7-on-7. Obviously, I don't want them to have more success than the Panthers, but like both of them are starting to have some things kind of taken away from them, and that makes them a little bit invincible.